Who's calling me from an unknown number? Me not answer a private caller. Me not pick it up if the Me not pick it up. Not pick it up. Not pick it up. Not pick it up. Yeah.
Holy fuck. Who's calling you though?
My man.
The devil.
Shout out to my man. Yeah. Yeah, we have another great episode today for you. I don't want to be called a bitch every single week. So from you lovely folk, we have another great episode. My name is Legendary Tamar. Miyaki Mugler.
And I'm Nick.
Knack.
Patty.
Whack. Give a dogga.
Bitch, give me something else.
He wants nudes. He wants nudes in BBC. Let's be clear. Like, let's just
we can't say that. We can't say that every episode.
That you want me?
Yeah.
Aura, I'm trying to find you a man. Or you know what? What I've learned from working with Aura for the past 2 years, mind you, Nick is also Aura. So if you hear both names, it's just the same person. I've been working with Nick professionally for the past 2 years. We've had a longer friendship than that, but professionally for the past 2 years. And Nick has only been nice to me when he gets laid, or when he gets booty in his face, or when he has a cock in his mouth. Like, the only time he is de-stressed, level-headed, kind, accommodating, understanding is when meat's involved or booty cheeks. So, listeners, for my well-being, for Tamar, for me, keep doing the good work. I appreciate you guys. You gentlemen out there, I really appreciate you guys stopping by headquarters.
Should they get function shares?
They do not get function shares, but they can get merch.
Okay.
They can get merch.
The merch that did not burn in Maggie's fire.
Yeah.
We have very, very few t-shirts. Very few t-shirts. It's giving. Okay. Yeah. Get them while you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, this episode, I don't know if we mentioned her name yet, but we are talking to the one and only Precious Basquiat, commentator of the world as well. Absolutely. Like Kevin Snicky kind of going head to head on this.
Breaking barriers, spreading the ballroom gospel, letting the world know that we're here, we're queer, we're black, and that we matter. Taking up mainstream space that we...
From Rick Owens to Marc Jacobs to working with FKA Twigs to Nike to really the things, right? Getting flown out and doing that work and getting out there and living her dreams. I think that it was a really inspiring conversation. Again,
emotional as well.
100%. And so,
really riveting conversation. I'm excited that you guys are still with us listening to this silly podcast that I love so much. So yeah, enjoy the show. Do you like to get fucked?
Yeah. Actually, no. But yeah.
Do you like spit in your hole?
In my mouth.
Ooh. Well, there's an alternative for those that don't want spit in their holes. For lube, Gems has blessed the girls with a brand new product. It is 100% silicone-based lube from our good friends at Gems. And we have a discount code for our listeners. It is Function 20
for 20% off.
Yeah. So if you would like to slip and slide and have a good time.
Safer sex.
Absolutely. Couple your Gems with your Gems lube.
But yeah, what's your question? Test me. I'm ready.
No, not now. I gotta think of good, because that was like my 6 out of 10%.
Okay.
But now that see, that's good for her. But now that I know you're,
give me a 9
I'm an idiot.
or something.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give you a 9.5.
Perfect.
No,
I'll take
pun
it.
intended.
Ladies and gentlemen, GNC and B's, everything in between, girl. Welcome to another episode of the second one that we're recording today in the ballroom weekend that we're having for the cover ball alongside Class of 23, like we usually do. And we are joined by a very special guest.
Very special.
Precious Basquiat, icon, godmother, right? Overall godmother, Precious Old Navy. Bam.
Yeah.
Hit it, bitch.
Oh, bitch. Now I know which one it is.
Oh my God, the crowd is so big in here.
The crowd is going wild.
Thank you.
Hi.
I love for the, what is it?
Yeah, bitch.
You know, Scarlett has a song out right now, and the song goes like, oh no, it's like,
who's Scarlett?
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 Who's Scarlett?
Scarlett.
Yes.
Scarlett. Yeah. She said, who's Scarlett? But anyway, that's a cute name.
Agamotto?
Yeah.
What?
We have a Scarlett Agamotto. Well, not.
I was thinking Scarlett Bobo.
Oh,
I'm like, Scarlett Bobo's a singer.
Scarlett Bobo.
Bitch, what?
Yes, we are in the fucking city of Toronto, Canada.
Oh, welcome
The
back.
Canadian pussy has flipped finally.
yeah.
And you've been here many
I
times.
love Canada.
You've been a longtime supporter of our scene.
I love it.
So yeah, thank you for always showing us so much love and being so easy to work with. Oh my God.
And shout out to Montreal, my second Canadian home.
Yeah, shout out to them.
They speak French over there. I love it.
They do.
speak
Aura
French.
is from
I'm from
Montreal. She's from Montreal.
I moved here before the ballroom scene over there started, funnily enough. So like back in my young gay days, I was a fan of FKA Twigs, which is so funny because that's how I got into ballroom. I was watching her videos with Benjamin Milan.
You're about to get.
What, is that your homegirl? You know her by you have her phone number and stuff?
You're about to
Wake it up, shake it up. But yeah, so that's how I got into ballroom. I was watching her clips, and then after that, I went through the very classic street style Lissandra versus Inksy battle that everybody's watched. And then I came to Toronto. My first thing that I wanted to do was find Vogue classes, and Snoopy was the only one that was teaching them at the underground, and that's how I got into it. But yeah, Montreal had no voguing, no ballroom, no nothing. And then a year later, Toronto went there for the first Kiki ball that they threw.
That's fab.
A little bit of a history.
What was the tea? What tea were you about to give us? What? See, I knew it.
Shut the fuck up.
I knew it.
Texts me all the time.
I knew
Whoa.
it.
She is such a fucking her voice is very tiny.
Yeah.
So when she calls me, she's like, "Hey, Precious, how are you?" And I'm like, "Hey." She's like, "Are you busy right now? I can call you back." I'm like, "No, go ahead, talk." But FKA Twigs, before we get into the juicy stuff, Atlantic Records had called me one time. I've had doors open in front of my face and been very scared to jump
To step in.
What's the song she did? Like
Glass and Patron.
no, it's one called like hold on, I can actually look. It was something called like here it goes right here. Gagging, unreleased music.
Oops.
Unreleased. Ooh.
So she asked me to hop on this track, and this is how I got introduced to FKA Twigs. So first of all, I'm lying. Mike Q wrote me and said, "Hey, FKA Twigs is trying to get in contact with you." And at the point, I was oblivious to who FKA Twigs was.
How many years? Sorry for context. How long ago is that?
What?
The reaching out, Mike Q reaching out to you.
The gag is, Laomi told me that she wanted to work with me back in 2020. I'm gonna say 20. But look how long now. Last year, Mike Q hits me up and was like, "Hey, I'm about to give your number to FKA Twigs. She's trying to do a song with you." And I'm like,
Bitch.
wait a minute. I heard about this girl, so I started Googling it. I'm like, oh my God, this bitch is like famous everywhere.
Yeah.
So Atlantic Records had called me. They sent me like a deposit. I don't like speaking numbers.
It's okay. Pay it.
Good. They had wrote me and was like, "Hey, we're about to send you a track, and how much can you get? Can you do it? And this is our budget. Can you do it?" And I was like, I listened to the song and I was just, oh my gosh. I was like, okay, I can do a lot to this. And girl, Atlantic Records, they do not play. It was like NDA.
Oh, I believe
contract. They even found a studio near my house and booked the time, and I did the song and then sent it out to them, and then they just had to like wait. But ever since then, like she contacts me like
once in a while.
She's in Europe all the time. No.
Not once in a time.
Precious, where's the ball at? Precious,
the World AIDS Day Ball 2023 history, December 2nd.
It's in Toronto, FKA Twigs.
No shade. Get her to Toronto, honey.
Bitch, she get VIP.
But it was just like a blessing of like how I didn't know who she was, and now working with her, and it was amazing. Like make sure I was compensating well, make sure like I was good in the studio, like sitting in the studio for like 8 hours goes crazy.
Right.
Like real celebrity.
The song hasn't been released yet, right?
I don't think we're gonna release it.
Okay.
Because it was called why can't I remember what the fuck the song it's something with In the Club or
Tears in the Club.
Tears in the fucking club.
With The Weeknd. Well, it got released at the end with The Weeknd.
That's why. It was like they had a ballroom vision, and I'm a real bitch about it. I got paid still. She got, of course, The Weeknd. I want to top on it.
I mean, I think she should still release it.
I think she still should too, because
the girls would carry
it would be so different, right? Like The Weeknd was very like, to me, one of the more pop things that she's done, because she's been so alternative for the longest time. But I would love to hear it. But yeah, enough about Miss FKA Twigs. Love her down.
Yeah, love her down.
We're talking about, you're here, You're our
just think
special
it was-
You're
guest.
here and you're queer.
You're here and you're queer. And
Queer and fucking gay.
so, yeah, we don't really have a structure for this podcast. We usually like to talk about people's upbringing in ballroom, because that's obviously the common thread. And then anything else that you want to talk about. Obviously, you're a very prominent figure in the scene, the way that you got involved in My
an
House
open
from the
book.
beginning. All the collaborations that you've worked with, you have like a super impressive body of work. So we'd love to get into that and kind of chat about how it's made you feel, what you got in the works, all the things. So
I would like to go back to the beginning.
take us back, Tamar.
I would like to know about the very, very beginning, before Precious was Precious. Who were you right before you became Precious, and tell us about your intro into Ballroom.
Well, if nobody notices, but I mean, I wear a bonnet all the time and my back is always exposed. I don't know why. But
Because you're soft and cunt.
no, because I have a tattoo on the back of my neck and it says Angel. And everyone always asks me and they're like, who's Angel? They thought I was like trying oh yeah, Angel's on my back. That's my daddy. No, Angel's actually me. Before Ballroom was Angel, and
That's your middle name, right?
yeah, that's my middle name. I hate when people book my flights and know my
Sorry.
You hate that though.
I was about to say that. I know that.
But yeah, I always called myself Angel, even in my house, only because respectfully, my father was never around. His name was the first name and the last name. So
It's Giving Junior.
I hate it.
Same name though. Like, wow, work it out.
Only thing is, he has blah 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 Angel Marie blah
Okay.
blah blah, and I'm blah 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 Angel blah blah blah.
Got it.
Blah blah blah. And I hated it because he was never a support system. The name just gets cheesy, Hispanic. Whatever. And so
No, it's like
I get it. Yeah, I get
it's
it.
like I don't. It doesn't. You know how people be like, oh my god, I love my name, and it brings me justice. No, my name
Yeah,
is just
didn't
like
bring you joy.
It brings trauma and just every time I think about it, I'm like Precious. From New York originally, born and raised. Ballroom. I walked the Kiki ball. Nobody really knows. I was in the Kiki scene a lot. So I went to the group home system. And when I was in the group home system, I remember running away and like trying to find like a outlet. And lo and behold, I started realizing that there was these drop-in centers in New York. So I was skipping school because I was being bullied in high school. And I was tired of fighting. It was beyond me. Like the fighting was just like
have it, bitch. I have nothing.
yeah,
left
it was
in
just
me.
like,
Yeah.
I already whooped your ass. I whooped your friend's ass. That's why you're talking shit, because I whooped your friend's ass. And it was like, I don't want to fight you just to prove to you that I can whoop your ass too. It was like, it was stressful. Like I was going home with like swollen knuckles, scraped knees. Like my hair was just now starting to grow. So like I would have like little pieces of hair, like boys pulling hair. Like it was weird. I started finding outlets to escape and feel more comfortable, and I started going to the drop-in centers, and I actually was invited to go to a Kiki house, which was called the House of Mickey Moto. And if you don't know your house is in the, that's
I
good.
don't
No, that's
know.
good. That's good. Mickey Moto was like one of the starter Kiki houses in the scene in New York City, and it was like Mickey Moto, the House of Galliano, the House of Soprano. Like it was like, you know, all these Kiki names, but Mickey Moto was like such a family to me, because at first, everyone called me, well, I wanted to be called Estrella, star. And then I'm such a Scorpio that I couldn't have a name that somebody else had.
Somebody else is Estrella.
Star.
Oh,
In English, got it.
In
Okay,
English,
got
yeah,
it.
in
Yeah,
English.
yeah,
But
yeah.
even still, I say Estrella because even me thinking of star, like I still thought of Estrellas,
Yeah.
which is Spanish. But
yeah.
I was like so over it. So I was like star. Girl, the gag is...
Okay.
I was like star for like maybe a year. And I started thinking, I'm like, girl, I'm like, no, I don't want to be like, you know, and this Star already had a name. Star was doing big ones for Revlon and Vogue, and I didn't want to be shadowed. Remember, because I was going through all this trauma in high school, and I felt invisible.
Yeah.
I felt very invisible. And I made myself a promise that like I was gonna be seen and be heard. Ballroom just like popped up out of nowhere and was like, I joined Mickey Moto. I started to learn how to dip. Well, I'm from New York, so it was easy for me to learn that because I was a dancer.
Yeah.
And a dip is the 5,000. I want to see you 5,000. You know, that whole little thing. So it was like, we was already doing that in the streets, but now that I know it was a gay dance, I was like, bitch, I'm going to, yo, you want me to dip? Right. They were like, oh, she know how to dip. I was like, yeah, look, wow. Like, just dipping for no reason. And it became like a big thing. And then I went to this Kiki ball. And I will always remember, well, I'm skipping a major point. Drop-in centers.
Yeah.
I found HMI.
I got chopped on my first HMI ball. Not to take take off. Oh yeah.
This is HMI here?
No, I went to New York back like in my first year in Ballroom. I went to New York.
That was probably before they implemented the no chop rule. Like,
oh, they have a no chop.
Damn.
Anyway, take it lightly on the girls. So I went to a HMI ball and Snooki was on the mic, and when like I would sit next to Snooki and I would always be like, I always like to rap. Like my thing is not commentating, my thing is rapping. Like if you know me,
you're a musician.
Put on an instrumental and I'm gonna whoa. Like I would rather do that than commentate, if you know what I'm saying. So Snooki was at the ball and I would always sit next to Snooki, and Snooki would always give people opportunity to go on the mic. And I remember like looking at him, but I didn't want to beg. Like people were begging, like, and I didn't want to beg. I just looked at him and I was like, I gave him side eyes, like, girl, pass the mic. Yeah. And he was like, hey, he was like, go ahead, eat it up. He was like, do this battle. I was like, all right, cool. And I remember just like being in sync with like
the Vogers.
Not even the Vogers. I was just like, you know how you have to adjust, your body has to adjust to certain things? It was like me and the music was familiar. And once I got the microphone, it was just like magic. It was just like everybody was bopping. And okay, like, you know, I forgot what I was saying back then, but whatever. I went to a Kiki ball. I finally mustered up the courage to walk commentator versus commentator, and I won. And it just so happened that...
So were you commentating at practices or anything, or just...
I was just having fun with it. Wow. I was really having fun with it. And just going on the microphone and really kind of like rapping in a faster tone. So I was like, oh my girls, getting back and forth. Like I was little words like that, just like, and I realized that back then all the words was like pussies and cunts and bitches and all of this extra stuff. So I was just like, okay, that's how I learned. But then before I walked the Kiki ball, I realized I had to like figure something out that people wasn't saying but was relatable. And if you notice one thing about me, even now from like back then, I always relate a lot to sex. Sex makes the body communicate. Sex makes a person communicate and relate. Sex makes you dance. Sex makes you feel good. Even hearing about it, you just like, if you hear about somebody telling right, you're like,
talking to you the right way.
Yeah, like exactly. And especially when it's actions that we are familiar with. Like everyone's familiar with sucking dick. Everyone's familiar with eating ass or pussy.
Yeah, Tamara does that to me every
girl,
week.
You wish.
Oh my God.
$1,000 minimum.
Okay.
Like, hello.
Okay, stop playing with Tamara. You know how to eat. Okay. So, I was just like, okay, how am I going to step it out the box? And back then, I say back then, because this was like maybe like 2014, I came out of like the main scene, 2007, 8.
Wow.
That's why I was like 2000, I thought it was 14, but it was like, no, it was way, 2014 is when I came out in
the mainstream.
But just imagine from like 2008, this time frame until finally like 2012, 13, I walked this Kiki ball and MC Deborah was on the panel. And I remember before then, I was so scared to walk because I'm like, now it's not just doing it in HMI next to Snooki for a second. It's now like getting the girls up, knowing how to get my tens and knowing how to eat up. So y'all remember that song from Mystique where he was like, been so long, he's been
Yeah.
Show me, right here's where you want me. He was like, danger. So I took that rhythm and I was just like, how can I say something that I don't have to keep repeating? I mean, that I would have to keep repeating, but would have a lower tone and a higher tone. So I was like, she was like, well, tell a story. Like, tell a story about what, And remember, sex was on my mind all the time because I'm a Scorpio and that's how I communicate. I was just like, girl, I was like, I can't even commentate. I was like, she was like, why can't you commentate? I was like, girl, my throat hurt. I was sucking dick last night. She was
bitch,
like,
this is where that's from?
She was like, bitch. She was like, tell him about that. Like, tell him what. And I was like, how do I do that? And then, so I'm singing a song and I'm just like, no, girl. I'm like, I'm danger. Like, I keep saying, 2 minutes before the ball's about, like, the commentator's about to come on. I'm like, and I'm hearing the beat just keep replaying. It wasn't the same beat I walked to, thank God. I mean, I wish it was, but it wasn't. But it still had that boom. So I was like, all right, cool. I started practicing it, saying it. And then I remember, like, he was like, anybody else walking 5, 4, 3, 2? And I'm like, oh my God, this whole time, this whole hour, I'm sitting here practicing, didn't realize that the categories come. I step on the stage, the girls go crazy. Like, not even saying that yet. They're looking at me, they're like, oh, it's done. She's the new girl on the block. She's eating it. Like, it's done. I went up there and the beat just started, like, and it was just so funny because it was the hop, but it was like the hop with, like, mad crash, like, shh. So I went on the mic and, wow, it's so funny how I can remember this like it was yesterday. I went on the mic, MC Deborah's the tiebreaker, and it was a whole bunch of Kiki judges, and I looked at them and I was just like, I started like panting, like I was nervous, but the rhythm that it gave, the aesthetics that it gave, it was like, suck, too, and I was like out of breath because I'm nervous and looking around, and I'm sweating, and I'm just like, I can't commentate, like, and when I said it, the girls was like, oh, bitch, like, and I'm looking around, look at my hair.
Yeah. That was a good one, bitch. Goosebumps.
No, yeah, because like people started getting on the stage and started voguing. Like while I'm commentating, I'm like, oh my God.
Because we all suck too much dick, bitch. We can relate.
So I did that. Won the ball.
Well, not me.
Perfect.
I was just gonna say.
I did that. Won the ball. The category. And I just remember thinking like that my life was complete. I was like, oh my God, like this is amazing. I went to the ball, to Vogue night. And I remember how I told you I was skipping school. So at this point now I'm in Job Corps. And I'm getting my credentials.
What's Job Corps?
Job Corps is a trade school.
Okay.
So I dealt with so much trauma in high school that I went to a trade school to finish my high school diploma. And it was just so crazy. Look how God is. I went to go get my general education diploma, and I failed the first time, like the GED. I failed it. But in the midst, I only needed 4 more credits for high school. So I'm doing the credit assignments thinking that I'm not going to get my GED, but I took the test again. But you have to wait like 2 months for that. So in the midst of that, the 2 months, I went banged them 4 credits out. I got 6 credits. So they sent me my high school diploma, and then 2 days later, my GED comes in the mail. And I'm like, well, how did this happen? I'm like, I even went to the Department of Education. I'm like, I have a GED now and a high school diploma. They're like, oh, well, you would go with the higher one, which was the high school diploma. But it was just a blessing to me because all of this happened in the midst of whatever, going to school, trying to find a ballroom. Yeah. So I go to Vogue nights and I'm sitting there with my friends. I'm like hyper feminine cunt, a big, happy, feminine energy. Everybody thinks I'm Samoan, Hawaiian, whatever the case.
Yes, Samoan.
I'm sitting there. I'm thinking I'm boyish because I had black sweatpants and like a bandana.
We all think they were boys with sweatpants, honey.
I had like a black bandana shirt on with some like high top Nikes, whatever. And MC Deborah see me at the ball and she was just like, oh my God. She was like, I've seen you walk Vogue nights before. But she's like, I didn't know you could commentate. I was like, yeah. I was like, I have fun with it. She was like, you did amazing. She was like, you're original. I love that. She was like, you kind of remind me of me. And she was just like, you're my grandbaby. She was like, you're always gonna be my grandbaby. And after that, she did LSS. And then she said, she was like, I lived too much, bitch. Yeah, it's time to celebrate. Oh. And it's so crazy. Yeah, oh my gosh. It's so crazy because she like remixed my chant. So I'm getting my life off of that already. And then she was like, she gave this whole speech and she was like, people ask for the mic and I say no. She's like, people ask me all the time, like, who am I gonna pass the mic to? She was like, you have to earn the mic. She was like, you know you're a commentator when you hear your own shit. She was like, when you have people voting to your shit, and then she was like, grandbaby, break it down for mama again. And I was like, I looked at her and I was like
and this is for LSS?
This is just at Vogue nights.
Oh, work. She
stopped the music. She was like, no music. She was like, sing it to them. And then you hear Tika saying like, acapella in the viral clip. So I got up and again, my nerves start kicking me and I'm like, so I'm gonna start getting in with my chant and I'm like, I'm looking at her and I'm like, this is my moment. I'm like, they're listening to me, bitch. You waited for this. You've been ignored all years. So I started like remixing. I started coughing on it, not coughing, like, but like I started like giving aesthetics. Like I'm like like, and I didn't know
antics.
I didn't know that was antics. So like they like, oh bitch, and then my Q started putting crashes. I woke up the next day, and I woke up the next day and my phone was like flooded. People were doing this thing called I Suck Too Much Dick Challenge.
What type of challenge was that?
Oh, mama.
The girls were voguing down to the commentation clip everywhere, across the seas, locally. Thank God for Lollipop Ebony, the legendary Lollipop Ebony. She's the one that started it. Like she was like, she was like, I'm gonna vote to this I Suck Too Much Dick Challenge. We're gonna start an I Suck Too Much Dick Challenge. She was like, and I'm gonna tag 3 people. She tagged 3 people. They tagged 3 people. 3 people tagged 3 people. And when I tell you the next day it was just super viral, like I started getting questions about like, hey, do you know how to host balls? And I'm like, no. I'm like, but I'll give it a try. I'm like, give me a try. I was taking buses to Ohio for $300, staying in motels and traveling a day and a half on a bus to just go to the event. And like, I got stood up. I got stood up for a ball. Like I did the ball and like,
no money.
Promoters left. No money. I'm stuck in the city. I can't tell my mom because I'm sneaking out of town.
Right.
She's thinking I'm at my friend's house for the weekend. It's a lot. But that was my introduction into ballroom, and I feel like it was so. Again, remember I told you I'm very spiritual. It was perfect timing. MC Deborah got really sick after that, and it was like it was time. It was time for her to. I don't want to say it was time for her to pass the torch, but she knew it was.
She could.
It was time.
Yeah.
She could pass the torch.
She felt comfortable. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who was funny on the mic, somebody who interacted with the crowds. Make sure they're up to par with it. Like it was a lot of things, and it happened. And my life took a beautiful turn. Yeah,
That's a wild introduction to ballroom. I think it's like one of the best ones I've heard. I like that type of moment, especially with somebody like MC Deborah who picks one person out of so many, right? Like it's just golden.
Crazy. And then for them to do it that night, and then for them to take their sabbatical and everything happened, I was so sad that stuff happened the way it happened. But like, to be honest with you, sometimes when I get up, that's the only thing that pushes me. Not letting her down.
Yeah.
And you know what?
A legacy to live up to.
It kills me sometimes because I have a lot of people like, I wish MC Deborah was here. I wish, like all of this, because it kind of makes me feel like I'm not
doing enough.
It kind of makes me feel like I'm not doing enough, but to be quite frankly, humbly speaking, I feel like I changed the game. And I changed the game in a way where now I'm making it comfortable for people to do musical remixes with commentations. We're hearing more words. We're hearing more personality, opposed from before where everything was pussies, cunts, and bitches, and Kevin's thing, which was and all that. We started hearing words, and we started hearing stuff that was familiar with our minds, like songs that were entwined with voguing music. So now we're, and to be quite frankly, if anything was to happen tomorrow, I would feel okay personally with saying that I've accomplished a lot.
Oh, 100%.
But as far as ballroom, they're never going to be appreciative of it. And it's sad.
That seems like an overarching theme.
Literally.
That a lot of the greats that we've interviewed say is that like ballroom will not give you the roses that you actually deserve.
Or they will after you've passed.
And it hurts me because after all the traveling and stuff I did, I already had reconstructive surgery on both my legs. So like my doctor, even up to this day, I can call him right now. My doctor up to this day is gagging that I'm still moving the way I'm moving. Because he's like, you should have arthritis at this point. You should have this. And I have chronic pains all the time. Like, child, I have so much chronic pain in my legs and my legs, like my knees. When I say my legs, meaning from my hips to my ankles. Chronic pain. But I put that aside because I remember how I felt to sit home and not do nothing. I remember before me manifesting, me traveling the world and writing it in my journal, like, oh, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here, I'm going to go here, sitting in that 1-bedroom apartment with my mom and my 2 sisters and not being able to, I didn't know what a passport was. Yep. Now I have a second passport because my first passport is stamped out.
Stamped out.
And that's a blessing because it's like, what I'm trying to say is I don't need Ballroom. I would appreciate it if Ballroom gave me my flowers the way I deserve them, but I don't need it because the world has given me a gift. The world has given me more than roses. The world is beautiful. Like I never thought I would have been seeing Paris, and I go to Paris all the time now, and wow. Like my mom, she's 54. She got on a plane. Oh my God. My mom's 54 and she's never been on a plane. And like I've traveled the world and like I tell my mom all the time, I'm like, Mom, you're missing the world. Like you're missing the world. And she got on a plane for the first time I went to Puerto Rico and
oh. Were you with her? No?
No, she went with my aunt. I'm crying because I'm happy. I'm crying because
100%.
You know, it's one thing to travel, but it's another thing when you can get your family, like your mom, she prayed up and she said it up and down, like, I'm never gonna end up playing. It's too scary. It's too this. And like when she went to Puerto Rico, we were like on bad terms because I had moved out. It's a long story about that, but we was on bad terms at the second. I love my mom. I will always be okay with my mom, but I had to tell my mom, like, hey, look, everything you think, I'm your child, but I'm not a child. That's the topic of it. So we wasn't talking at that point, but my aunt had took a girls trip, and I wrote my aunt and was like, hey, like, why don't you invite your sister? And one thing before I cried because I'm happy because my grandmother, before she passed away, she tried to take my mom on a trip, and my aunt didn't even invite my mom. Like she just went because she's like, oh, she don't fly, remember? And so this time it was different. I was like, I wrote her like, hey, you're going to Puerto Rico. I'm like, why don't you invite my mom? She's like, you know, your mom is I was like, try. And when I asked my mom, like, to help my aunt pay for her ticket, and my mom was like, I'll go. She was like, if you buy the ticket, I'll go. She was like, and I'm looking at her, I'm like, Ma, if I spend money on this ticket for you to go,
you have to go.
She went. And I'm so happy because now, like, she understands, like, she's like, no wonder why you don't want to stay home.
The world is big,
the world is beautiful. Like, she came back and she cried to me, and we talked again, and she cried. She was like, wow, thank you. I should have listened to you a while ago. She was like, beautiful. Like, oh my gosh. She's like, it's more than the world than New York and Philadelphia and places I can drive to. So moving past that, the world has given me more of a gift than Ballroom's flowers can ever give me. The praising of people, I don't like it, but I love that people see that I have fought. What shakes me all the time is people that thank me for being a voice for them, because I wasn't a voice for myself at one point. And that's big. Because I was suicidal. I was depressed. And when I hear people come up to me and be like, Precious, thank you for being you. Thank you for being a voice for big people and black people and gender nonconforming or drags or like whatever it is, however they thank me, I'm like so humbled by it because I'm like, if only you knew I'm just living my life. Finally, I'm living my life. And that's crazy. What?
No, I just smelled the candle. No.
I'm scared. I'm like, what, girl? Oh,
sorry.
The Holy Ghost.
I thought you were trying to look at what I was looking at because the flowers are my looking point. But yeah, but anyway, that was like just the world. So to answer that question about like how you say ballroom people feel like they don't get their flowers, they don't. But hey, whatever. Ballroom's gonna use you until you're drained out, and then move on to the next thing.
How did you find your signature sound? Like, there's a certain, I don't know how else to explain it, but there's a way that great commentators can pierce, like their voice pierces through a room. Horrible. On top of the music, on top of everything. Like they are able to, like, it's such a commanding tone that you have to use in order for it to really give, like Snooki, all the greats have it. Like you have it,
Snooki,
everyone
Kevin,
yeah.
You can be a,
because it's totally different than rapping, totally different than singing.
You can be a chanter, but to be a commentator, it's like you have to have that thing.
Yeah.
Snooki, like you said, Snooki has that thing. Kevin has that thing. But I don't know. I used to love to sing when I was younger. And I realized a lot of things about commentators, we like to sing. Kevin may not agree to it, but Kevin has songs locked up in his vault, in his house, where he has singing Vogue tracks. And I'm like, yo, release this. He's like, no, the girls won't live for. Fuck the girls.
Fuck
your
the
music.
girls.
If y'all learn anything from this, fuck the girls.
Fuck the girls. Capital F, capital G. And
not G.
Fuck the girls.
Oh yeah. Sorry. I'm back.
Not G.
Guys.
Tamar.
Tamar.
See,
That was an
when we said
moment.
6 out of 10, that's what we need.
I baby.
And he's
On it.
why he
On
he
it.
just caught
Yeah.
it. It's like the girls. Hello. Kevin, yeah, like all of us. It's like we have this like, it's kind of like, I really feel like we have like this angelic peak. And when I say angelic peak, it was like, because like, I don't know about them, but I know sometimes like when I feel like my voice is shaky, I'll sit in my Airbnb or my hotel. I know they be over it sometimes, and I'll do like these I don't know what they're called,
Like
but
voice training, voice
I call them
warm-ups?
chimes.
Okay.
So I'll do I'll start like a it's so weird. I'll do it off the mic so you can like I'll be like, I have to hear myself. I'll be like,
Bitch.
like to hear.
Yeah.
And I'll realize myself like what is a good inside loud voice and what's a good outside projecting voice.
Yeah.
And girl, I get to some points where I'm just like, I can't do it. But I get to some points like even like, like playing with lower tones. And I feel like, you know, those people that can get really high and crack windows.
Yeah.
I be trying to do like them chimes, but it don't work. But I don't know. My sound is very unique. My sound, I'm Afro Latina, so it's like, that's one thing about P. I'm not gonna want to sound like anybody else, and that's a challenge sometimes because in a moment, you know, you have people like Kevin and you have people like Snooki where they have bomb ass chants and rhythms and stuff, and I catch myself battling myself to not sound like that because we all have our own sound and that's what makes us unique.
Yeah.
Why would you book 2 Kevins if you can have one Kevin?
One Precious and one Kevin. Yeah.
Right. I also love when you chant in Spanish because I'm not Spanish speaking and I'm not even in a Spanish speaking country where that's the second language. Whenever I hear, bitch, wake me up. Mind you, the Spanish girls probably hate it at this point, the boom cha 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 of it all. But bitch, wake me up.
I kind of tap into relate to people like even Caribbean when Twisted did that little Caribbean ball and I did the whole little a spice chant or whatever, like went crazy, like playing around with knowing your surroundings, knowing the people you're with. I'm like a chameleon. I adapt. You know what I'm saying? But my sound is comforting. I'm gonna want to know what the people. I look around like and I
feel like what
that's
they
why
want.
I always do. If you look at all my clips, I give different chants for everybody because we're having a conversation. As soon as you come out, I'm gonna give you an introduction. Not saying like, oh hey, hi, I'm Precious, but like, it's more of like I'm moving my body, and I'm gonna see what you do with that. And then once you start moving with that, I'm now building, and you're talking back to me.
Yeah.
And the DJ is doing his own thing, but I'm still adapting to them because I'm now listening to the crashes.
It's like an orgy.
It's a fucking gift.
It's a gangbang.
It's a gangbang.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody involved. Like that's actually wild.
I love it. Wow. Like it's so like I'm telling y'all, sometimes I'm in my own world. Sometimes I'm in my own world. And I realized like being in the game for so long, like I had to realize that like at a point it became lackluster or like energy lusting. What was the word I'm looking for?
Energy was lackluster?
Yeah, energy was very lackluster. And
from the performers or the crowd?
From Ballroom.
Okay, yeah.
From Ballroom. And I feel like that happens and sometimes. And then I caught myself, we're going to be honest on a podcast because I want people to really know. I caught myself doing drugs. I caught myself taking e-pills and even cocaine.
To wake it up.
To get to that level again.
Of like euphoria or feeling.
Of like when I get on the microphone, I'm like, oh, yeah. Like that's even why the humming track got so famous. The whole little, like we live for that. That makes us big. Like that makes me want to cut up even hearing myself. Like if you hear a track and the crash, first of all, a beat is always gonna fill your body.
Right.
You're always gonna hear, once you hear a beat, your body just starts doing this little shimmy.
Yeah.
Imagine hearing these cunt moans and you're like, bitch, you a pussy bitch. It's gonna make you pussier. You're a dramatic bitch. It's gonna make you wanna them depths of the last So it was like it's my thing though. That's my thing. Like really adapting to the surroundings. That's why I get people involved too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that. I want to talk. Oh, go ahead. Go do what you're gonna do, boo.
Do what you're gonna do, boo.
Yes,
I want to talk about how the segue from Ballroom, as we know what you do for us, but also getting mainstream attention for that. So like Nike,
My House, all
My
the things.
House, your relationship with Marc Jacobs, like all those things that you can't find in the scene, but you have access to because of the work you've put in the scene.
But it's because of the scene.
Mm-hmm.
It's because of the scene, because if I wasn't Precious in Ballroom, these opportunities was like, if I wasn't on the podium because of Ballroom, and at one point I was the girl. Like I can honestly say right now, I feel like right now Snicky's doing what I did 5 years ago. The ripping and running, this back-to-back balls. That's why I'm not jaded. I'm not. I'm humbly like sitting back, like, go ahead, sis.
Eat it. Mm-hmm. Eat it. There's room for all of us.
I feel like people don't understand that.
Yeah.
And
I feel it's a common theme, though, in Ballroom and general life, too, for people to pit different successful people against each other.
They
It'll
want
be
everybody
like
to be
Precious
against each
versus
other.
Kevin versus Nikki versus
Who's
this and
better?
that.
Why can't we all be the best?
You know how many balls there are? It cannot be a single bitch. It can be many eating it bitches
that's what
that
I'm
all
saying.
eat it all the time.
So like I was saying, like right now I'm sitting back, I'm like, go ahead, sister, because bitch, I know how I felt to go. It was one point where I was hopping on planes from Paris, doing a ball in New York, going home, switching my suitcase just within 24 hours, and hopping back on a plane to Paris.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Because of the person who I am, because I'm that poppin' bitch. And the TV show people from My House hit me up and
Was that the first thing that kind of put you on the mainstream map? Yeah, okay, cool.
My House was like the first. Wait, let me think about this. I'm gonna say between Nike and My House.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure if I did a Nike commercial before. My house was first. You better know his.
Hello.
My House, they hit me up and was like, hey, we this young producer, I was a friend of his name's Elegance, and he was like, I have this idea I want to pitch to like these people for a show, and we did this interview in like BBQs in Brooklyn, and it picked up. We started recording. It was like, yo, imagine having a camera crew with you for like 24/7 for like 6 months.
Yeah.
Like people were looking at me like
Who the fuck is that?
There were so many scenes that were cut out like from me in Walmart. Like I was in Walmart with these camera crew and people were looking at me like, who the fuck is she? Like people, the Walmart manager stopped me like, excuse me, you can't record in here. He was like, oh, but we're recording her for a TV show. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. Like now I go back to that Walmart in Philadelphia and people are just like, oh,
you're
hey.
yeah.
Like, how you doing? Like, and I'm like, oh my God. But yeah, it opened doors for that. The TV show was amazing. Like
It was fabulous. I think it's like one of my favorite depictions
I hate that
of
they
Ballroom.
didn't. Well, I hate that it wasn't picked up. But you know what? I always say it can be picked up again. Still has, but I mean, I'm not a person to live in the past. I'm more of a present, and I wish the best for it and what it does, but it don't look like that for right now.
Yeah, but I also think that it did a lot for you back then too, right? So like it ran its course.
It was trailblazing.
It was trailblazing
for Ballroom.
Yeah, it really was.
Just imagine, and remember, My House was way before Pose.
And legendary and all the things. My House was like the
just
OG.
Just imagine, I was making now. Remember, I don't like talking about numbers, but I'm just so you can see how I was a kid in a candy store. I was making from Ballroom every weekend because I get booked every weekend. Even now, it's not. I don't miss a weekend where I'm not in a different city.
Amen. A blessing.
Amen. Truly. And so Ballroom on weekends, typically back then, because I was the only girl really out like traveling and doing stuff, I would make like close to $2,500 a weekend.
Wow.
Praise God.
And I was getting an additional.
Fuck Bigo. No, I'm kidding.
And I was getting an additional like $2,000 every weekend from My House, like checks from being paid from Vice. Like here you go.
Really?
So I'm pulling in like close to $10,000 a month, close to a month. it was like the hotels, the traveling first class, the meals, my friends that were with me. I would always make sure like bitches was eating too, car rentals. Like it was like lavish. Like, oh my gosh. Then I was at a show, and how I got introduced to Rick Owens was because my friend Wendy, she's a lesbian activist. She was at a ball, the Heritage Ball, and she was like, "Oh, hey, I want to introduce somebody. They love you on a show." And I was like, "Okay, cool." I woke up to them, and I
thought somebody's Rick Owens. Like,
No, it wasn't Rick.
it wasn't.
It was
okay.
Rick's husband.
Oh,
Wait. No, I'm lying. It was Mark Jacobs' husband. I'm saying
Mark Jacobs,
not
right?
Rick. Excuse me. Rick has a wife, but Mark's husband. And he was like, "Oh my God, I love you." I'm looking at him like, "Who is this?
Who the fuck is that?
And she was like, "Oh yeah, but this is Mark Jacobs' husband. I do his haircuts, whatever." I'm like, "Oh hey, he's short."
Okay.
So we talked, whatever. He actually took me out to lunch, and while we had lunch, I get an inbox, a DM, and it was Mark Jacobs. And Mark Jacobs was like, "Don't steal too much time from my husband. Mwah, like kisses." And I was like,
Yes,
"Ooh."
God.
So I started inboxing them.
Kiss me in product.
No.
Okay, no, bitch.
Yes, definitely did.
Oh God, yes.
Like even still to this day, like I still rock all the shit he gives me.
Ooh.
This is Mark.
Wow.
Like it was just like a blessing. Like he wrote me. I actually, girl, why did I admit I was in where was I? I was in Brazil, and I get an inbox from him. He was like, "Hey, Precious, we're going to the Hamptons," and I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna go." Whatever. He was like, "Oh, you're going this weekend," and I was like, "I'm in Brazil." He was like, "Oh my God, no!" So I get a video of him like maybe like the next day. They're on a fucking G6. Private jet, dogs and champagne. I was like, "Oh, we miss you, Precious. Like we wish you could have came." And I'm like,
Fuck Brazil.
I thought my opportunity was done there, but no. After that, like he after his fashion week, he had sent my mom some perfumes. He offered me to go to the store and pick up anything I wanted. I went to his flagship store in New York, and I carried. Like I didn't carry for bleed because I didn't want him to be like, "Oh, this ghetto bitch,"
Right.
But I. Yeah,
Carried.
I carried.
Yeah.
And I told him how much, and he was like, "You're good." He was like, they're gonna check you out. It was like amazing. Like imagine going to the store and just picking out stuff like, "I want this."
That's
I want
what
that,
you
I
want.
that. And
Have it.
I just walked up like, and I remember at the time it was like around the holidays, and I like walked out, and I'm this black plus size girl getting in this Yukon SUV
Yes,
with like
God.
12 Marc Jacobs emerald green bags because it was just like that was
Mark
the color.
Jacobs, my name is Tamar Carter from Toronto, Canada. If you find it in your heart, I hope you listen to this. Or the husband. I also do hair if you need a little trim. Holla at a bad bitch.
Advertisement, I love that. He's
Begging.
He's so cool. Invited me to his wedding. I went to the wedding, met Little Kim, met Maya, met celebrities. Oh my gosh, it was so amazing. Rick Owens came along because he saw me at a ball in Paris when Jean-Paul Gaultier was judging a ball in Paris before he passed away. Oh my God, he was such a Jean-Paul Gaultier.
Wait, he passed away?
Yeah, didn't Jean-Paul? Yeah.
I thought it was Thierry Mugler that passed away.
Who?
See.
No, Jean-Paul Gaultier is deceased.
Is he? Oh God.
Girl, what? If I'm wrong, I must be high or something. I didn't take nothing though today.
Wait.
Let's see. Yep, he's dead.
He's dead.
Yeah, I told you. And I was so.
Wait, where'd you see?
Oh wait, no,
No,
he's
he's
alive.
not dead. He's age 71.
He's alive.
So who from
Thierry Mugler.
Mugler?
Yeah, he passed away like Manfred. Thierry Mugler.
Did he work with him?
Well, I don't know.
I don't know.
It was something about him. Oh my God, I'm sorry. I did not mean to wish death on
Oh my
him.
God, I was like, oh my God, did I miss something?
JPG.
Also, my name is Tamara Carter, JPG. I'm from Toronto, Canada. Sorry.
No. So, okay, but why I said that was because it was so weird because after he had judged the ball, like, it was like news circling that something had happened to him or whatever. So okay, whatever. We got this gift bag with the cologne. Remember the bodies?
Yeah. Okay, so it's definitely him.
It was like a body perfume, but shaped like a body or whatever. He had so many gift bags on the stage, and I went up to him and got one, and I took a picture with him, and he was just like, a cool person. But I didn't know Rick was in the crowd, and I get this WhatsApp thing. Like this,
WhatsApp.
I always have WhatsApp, but like I get this WhatsApp text and was like, "Bonjour, is this Precious from New York City?" And I'm like, "What?" I'm like, how did you get my number? Again, my Q's the link. I'm like, yeah, whatever the case may be. And I'm now asking for emails and stuff. And I get an email that Rick wants me to go to Paris and do like a what's it called?
Fitting show.
A showcase.
Okay.
So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I start Googling Rick Owens. I'm like, oh, bitch.
Baby.
I'm like, honey. I do the thing for him down the road. I'm thinking it's done. I'm like, oh, great opportunity. 6 months later, first class from Newark, New Jersey to Italy, Milan, Italy, to do Men's Fashion Week. A year and a half later, back to Paris. I'm doing.
What were you doing for Fashion Week? Commentating?
I was on a sister. I was commentating, but I was commentating on this cherry picker.
What's a cherry picker?
To pick cherries?
Let me show you. Men's. But yeah, just to tell you, like I did Men's Fashion Week out there. In Italy, first class. Me and my hairstylist, and went out there. We was in a hotel, which was fab. Like it was like a house on like 30-something floor. Amazing. I'd never been to Italy, so it was like, you know,
yeah, it's gorgeous.
Made my money, did what I had to do. Fab. After that, I went to Paris to do the Pompidou museum. It was a showcase for the museum. And I gagged because he wanted me to model. And I've never...
I think I saw those photos.
He was like, bitch. He was like, first of all, he was like, bitch, when you get up there, he was like, you do any poses that you feel you want to do that's related to Vogue. And he was like, be you. He put me in this big box and put platform glass heels on me and put me in this black dress with my tits like out.
I think I've seen this.
I've definitely seen that photo, yeah.
And he was like, do what you have to do. And I went up there and I just started like, I started moving in the future. Yes. Who else? Artists from Love and Hip Hop. I went on tour with I don't know, you're probably gonna know who he is, but Rashard Newsom. He's like this innovative musician, but he does like electronical musician.
Interesting.
Like he took the whole thing from the Xbox Connect that showed like look how you move and made art of me commentating. I had my own lines and ziggles and swiggles or whatever, and then the Vogers. And after it was done, they made like a masterpiece that he 3D printed. It was like fucking amazing. So Rick Owens, Marc Jacobs, Rashard Newsom. I worked with Candy from Real Housewives of Atlanta. I done a song with her. I had her sitting on Big O. India Moore was sitting on Big O for a ball. A lot of people. A lot of people.
So I have a question.
A lot of people. Yes, go ahead. So I can look for this video.
How does it feel? Because I feel as if Kevin has a similar, when we were talking with him, had a similar kind of backstory at X, Y, and Z. How does it feel to go from feeling invisible? Invisible. That was a mix of two words. Invisible when you were younger to...
Wait, hold on, look.
Don't forget where you are.
Yeah, no.
Yep. Oh, shit. Wait. Yeah, here. That's the cherry picker.
Oh, bitch.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you were carried.
Oh my God.
So,
carried.
Newspapers in Germany with my name in it. Like, I had the time of my life. Like, the time of my life. But go ahead.
So, yeah, my question, how does it feel to go from invisible to that amount of attention and that amount of recognition for the work that you do, right? It's not just like for fun. It comes directly from what you've put in and how you've been able to kind of...
It's and sometimost it can be scary because it's like, oh my gosh, like, you know, I go places and like, of course the girls, I'm going to say the girls most definitely, like I'm in the airport and like, if it's anybody to like, that works in an airport or hotel, I first get this, I get like the, and I look and I'll smile, I'll be like, hey, and then they'll be like, wait a minute. you legendary, you the girl that be doing the music thing. And I'm like, yeah. They be like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? I'm like, here for work, like I'm traveling. They be like, oh my God, that's so crazy. Can I take a picture with you? I'm like, yeah, sure. Like I'm so hip to it now that I already like I'm used to it. Like the pictures, the follow me back, Instagram me. I mean, it's cool. But to be from that stage now, it's kind of like mind blowing because it's like, who would have thought I would have had to really step into the light, Caroline, to really be noticed and to do something I love, music. I always thought, you know, we waste a lot of time in our lives trying to chase something we think is for us instead of being open to other things and realizing what's more gravitating towards you. So my thing was, I was so stuck on hip hop. I was so stuck on rapping. And I was like, I'm going to be a rapper. I'm going to be famous for rapping. I'm going to do this, whatever. Not knowing that Ballroom made me famous, like OD.
For
like,
real.
And that commentating would give you access through financially, you could like pour into whatever else that you wanted to do, right? Like all those things were like,
it was to a point where I had choice. Now I have choice to like do what I want to do. Like, and it feels good because before I was just doing like everybody. Oh my God, we love Becky's videos. We love I love Becky's.
Shout out to my sister Becky, bitch.
That's my bitch. But Becky was. I feel like Becky was like me expressing my love for hip hop. It wasn't more of like now I just want to do it to be famous, whatever the case may be. Because I realized in Ballroom, I reached a certain plethora where it's like, bitch,
which I'm already there.
I can either keep going with. Look at Jack. He kept building.
Yeah, diversification.
He kept going, and then after he got to a point where he felt comfortable, he started making leadership moves, like boss moves. Now he's co-executive of
X,
Pose
Y, and Z,
and this, and now any question that comes through Ballroom, I guarantee you they call Jack first.
Right.
If they even want to know who the vulgar for, call Jack, he'll know. And it's kind of crazy, but he has kind of like the say so of who gets what like. Yeah, I want to be like that, bitch.
Right.
I want to be on that type move where people call me and be like, oh, well, what do you think about music for this? I'd be like, oh, it should have a little perk cat in it.
Right.
It feels good, though. It actually feels good that people know who I am. It feels good that people now ask me, how do I feel? It feels good that I could live my life. Because like I told you, my doctor's still gagging. He's like, girl, with your weight that you had and have and your surgeries that you had and how your legs are now, and even like
you are dipping.
I have no cartilage in between my knees. You know how our knees are supposed to have cartilage?
Yeah.
I have none. So it's just like this
Raw bone against bone.
So when I tell you excruciating pain, like when I'm done, if let's just say right now, if I was to do like an activity and I had to be on my feet for like 2 hours or hour, I can do it. But when I go home,
bitch, you gag.
I'm going to be gagging. Yeah. Like I'm going to be in excruciating pain and I would not go through that. I'm sorry. People don't pay me that much to be in that amount of pain going home and then having to be out of commission for the next 2 days to recuperate now. No, but it feels good. It feels very good from being. How can I put this and have explained properly? Imagine being in a room and knowing you're in a room, but not being acknowledged in the room. And now imagine being acknowledged in a room and you don't have to even be in a room.
Yeah.
My name holds weight in conversations now. And that's big.
Before you even step a foot in.
Nike, Sephora, Red Bull. Like these people paid me to speak about who I was and how Nike still pays me to do commercials.
Do you do a lot of like when you say not just voiceovers, but when you say like they pay you to talk about X, Y, and Z, do you do a lot of conferences or like panel discussions or all those things?
I do a lot of panel discussions. I do like keynote speaking, mock conversations, mock interview with people just to like it's a big thing, and especially with Nike and Red Bull, I get paid to speak as a queer specialist in the field
in those
of
spaces. Yeah, for
Nike,
sure.
Nike or even, whatever, or Red Bull. Like they're like, oh, well, how does Red Bull make you, typical hilarious questions. Like,
Red Bull gives me wings.
yeah, how does Red Bull give you rings in Ballroom? And I'm like, oh, well, when I'm feeling drained and my energy, so I take a sip of Red Bull and
you're good to go. We've been trying to crack Red Bull here. Function have been trying to crack Red Bull for 2 years. It's been unsuccessful, but we're working on it.
She is texting.
Yeah, Miss Mama's
Sorry,
bitch.
I'm doing damage control.
Oh.
Sorry, let me just deal with this in a second.
Yeah.
No, you was talking about how it made me.
How it make you feel. So, now that we have that, like we've kind of spoken about what you've been able to do. What's the future plans? Like, what's the Precious of the future?
How do you get to the empire that you see that Jack has created? You know, a lot of people in Ballroom, there is I wouldn't say a shelf life, but Ballroom is quickly turns over. Like I think every 5 or 10 years, there's a drastic turnover where like it's flipped over.
Yeah,
so like,
right.
where does the empire, Precious's empire?
Well, I wanna actually open up my own record label.
Really?
And I wanna have nothing but LGBTQ artists. So like trans women, trans men, butch queens, non-binaries, like everything gay in between, and that's all I want. I want good representation for like gay artists and especially myself. And I figure I'm gonna start myself. I already have a plan. So once I get my LLC and start the company and once I get artists to actually believe in me or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna start my percentages low because it's not more about making pocket. It's more about getting representation. Yeah. And I'm gonna start booking people or doing like Pride showcases. So like once Pride's every year, that's a bank for me. And if people don't book me first, I'm gonna just do like my own performances and have like rep shows and have like popping celebrity. Like I will book Big Frida because she's in the community, but she's an artist to be like our headliner, but also do like artists in between and stuff in between
on the come up and all the
get
things.
It hyped so that now when Pride comes along, they think, oh well, let's call Precious and book one of her artists for the event to come do this, or let's give Precious a hour set and she, stuff like that. But yeah, we have a lot of talented people in our community, and I feel like we need to push that out there, and especially now the times are gay.
The times are gay.
And they're accepting it.
Everything in between too.
Yes, girl.
Another sponsorship you guys need to work on is TD Bank.
Oh, fucking B. We've been trying TD too.
We've been trying.
Financial institutions have been the hardest. I don't know why.
But also, like it's I wouldn't say easier, but there's way more marketing dollars in the States, US, specifically New York City. Than there are here.
So like, for example, your marketing budget in New York might be $100,000. I kid you not. The equivalent in Canada would be $10.
No,
10,000. Because like you have
what the fuck?
Yeah, because y'all have like 300 million people. We have 30 million. It's literally a tenth.
Yeah, you're right.
But even if it's a little more, like it doesn't match up. But no, I think that the record label thing is such a smart idea, especially because you've gotten access, right? Like you've gone through that path where it's not that many queer artists that have gone through it yet, right?
And
so you get to have like those insights. If I make enough
money, I actually want to open up a residential estate. Like I want to open up like a building or something where it's like our ground floors or our basement floors could be used for like balls or events, and then like upstairs, like on our main floors, it's like affordable rent for people.
Yeah,
like,
for artists,
for artists, for people in our community, people who respect our community that we can live with, and stuff like that. And girl, I just want to make bank.
Right.
Like I'm about to be. I hate saying this.
16.
I'm about to be 31. Like
me too.
And I'm like, girl, I'm not getting younger. And my voguing days is done. I do it now to be cute and like, hey, whatever. But to catch me in the lineup with these backflipping, neck turning, dip walking, cat bending bitches.
I ain't got it for that either.
I ain't got no shade.
No.
So I'm like, I don't want to be walking and commentating 40 something, 50 something. Like, like 35 is going to be my cut. And at 35, I'm going to have something where I can sit back and be like, when I come out, they're like, "Oh, you'll find
your own person to pass the torch."
Ooh, I don't know. It's right now. It's not.
There's still a couple years.
Right now, nothing's riding. Right now, everybody sounds like everybody.
That is true. Do you feel like not enough new people are given a shot?
Everybody has opportunity.
Okay.
Then it's what you do with it. I do commentating workshops, and some of my students. No, wait, hold on. Some of my students, as far as passing the torch, I don't know about that yet because they have to master it, learning more. But it's more of like they have potential to be great people. In
if they set their mind to it,
course,
for sure.
And Iago's about to go to rehab, so that's about to be a good thing. Hopefully, that's a new face out here, a new sound.
Because like that's our thing. Like I feel as if we always book. There's limitations. There's reasons why, but we always book the same people to come commentate, and it's just like.
But it's okay because we love that.
We love you. We love y'all, right? Canada. We love you. Yeah. No, I think
Canada's the first place I've ever tried poutine. Ramen. They made me love ramen here.
The ramen is good.
I love that you can rent a Mercedes-Benz in Montreal as a rental for the day. Fab. I don't like how Montreal has mafia as their government, though.
Oh, they do have mafia.
I know a lot of tea.
You do know tea. Who you fucking?
No, it's not about fucking. It's about opening them pretty brown eyes and observing what's around you.
Right.
Did you know that Africa right now just offered free residency for everyone?
Africa, certain countries.
I thought
if you're a part,
not the icon
Africa West, girl. Africa's not taking on everyone and offering them membership. No, ma'am. Yes, but no, certain countries in Africa are offering land and citizenship.
Really?
For their people. Like if you're an African American and you don't have like a way to connect your roots, they'll be like, you are black, you were stolen from this continent, here's land, here's a starter package.
Honey, thank you. Something's going on in the world. We gotta wake up.
Something's going on.
We're about to lose the dollar.
Yes, there's also a lot of countries that are trying to pull away from using USD as like the baseline currency.
Because our dollar means
I think
shit.
Is over.
Our dollar means shit.
Not to us, bitch. Your dollar's eating ours. Yeah. When I go to the States, I can go with $1,000. I'm a broke bitch.
It's $600.
A broke bitch. It's like $600 USD.
Yeah.
Yeah.
USD.
Yeah.
Yeah, but use Canadian cash, honey. The only reason why I like it is because when I order Uber Eats and it'd be like $30-something or something,
it comes in your car. It's like $20.
$20.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're rich. Bitch,
when we go over there and we order a $30 Uber Eats, it's like literally. And I'm like, okay, great, that was good. McDonald's,
bitch. Even house dues, like, house dues only $20. I'm like, no, it's not.
It's $40 for us.
No, it's not. Like, hello, like plus the transferring fee, plus the international fee, plus your bank fee. Plus,
it's over.
Girls,
wait a minute. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. Damn, it's just had it tip of my tongue. It'll come back to me.
We're talking about dudes. We're talking about cash. We're talking about overseas. We're talking about.
It went away. It was something funny though.
Oh damn. So wait, but before we wrap it up, what's your question for a 9.5?
What?
9.5 for his IQ.
Wait, did we get into that?
No. It's not that big.
Okay, hold on. I don't even think it's a 9.5 for you anymore.
Damn.
Because it's like, I'm so used to dealing with
people like me.
Typical moderate people. Okay.
Wait, can I try first before you answer? Let me try.
Yeah. I love how you have those in your mind.
If Sally has 2 sisters and a brother, how many children? Oh, wait, I'm saying it wrong. Wait, if Sally's mother has 2 daughters and a son on her side of the family, right? How many siblings does Sally have? I mean, how many children does the mother have?
3. Sally's mom has 2 daughters and a son.
You still messed up.
Wait, but if Sally's mom has 2 daughters...
Oh, you didn't get it either?
No. But wait, hold on.
No, you got it, but you didn't hear. You didn't hear what she said. She fucked up. Big time.
If Sally's mom has 2 daughters and a son...
You already fucked up. Listen. If Sally's mom has 2 daughters and a son, how many children does she have?
3.
Wrong.
How? She has 2 daughters and a son.
Sally's
mom.
Yes. Has 2 daughters and a son.
Yes.
What about Sally?
Bitch, she's one of the daughters.
No, she's not.
Says who?
Says the narrator.
She like Sally a dog?
Sally is her stepdaughter. from her father's side, but she still considers her a child.
Wait, how are we supposed to know that?
Because I said Sally's mom.
Sally's mom has 2 daughters and a son.
And a son.
2 daughters and a son, right?
So how many
Sally's
kids does
a
Sally
daughter.
have? Yeah.
So she has 4 kids.
How does she have 4 kids?
Precious, you're wrong.
I'm saying it wrong, probably.
Yeah, Sally's mom has 2 daughters and 1 son. Nowhere did we know that she had a stepdaughter.
Sally wasn't counted in the equation.
Why? She's a daughter, isn't she?
Sally's a
Sally's
Sally's a femme queen, bitch. I think I said it wrong. That's why I said I have to go on my book. I have a book of like written stuff. Like no, because I'll hear it somewhere, or I'll sit back and my sister will say something. I'll be like, oh, that's smart. But I didn't have it right now, and I probably said it wrong because it was somewhere of like the mother saying like she had more than 1 child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway, it's okay. But you ate that envelope thing up real quick.
But no, any final thoughts, Tamar?
Damage controlling.
Sorry, I'm looking for a trick question. Y'all can eat this up, 'cause now I'm upset that I'm a dumb bitch. Okay. What are 2 things you can never eat for breakfast?
Ooh. Dick. I'm joking. Let me see. 2 things I can never eat for breakfast. I got it. I got it. Yeah.
What?
Lunch and dinner.
Oh, fuck.
You ate that? You really?
No.
Are really true to
I had
this.
to really think, and that's why I wanted something like that's in my
You are
book.
true to
Yeah,
this.
You have
like
to
a
think about-
riddle.
You could eat typically. You can really eat breakfast. I mean lunch
for breakfast.
But typically it's called breakfast for a reason.
Yeah.
You can't eat lunch for breakfast.
Well, unless you're breaking your fast at lunch.
What can be broken but never held?
The silence.
Dumb bitch. No.
Well, bitch, that's close enough.
fucking dumb bitch.
You fucking dumbass bitch.
Slow ass.
You never
I know what
fucking
it is.
quiet, girl.
I know what it
Those silence
is.
cannot
What
be
is it?
held.
And if I'm wrong, it has to be a trick question. A heart.
You're wrong. It's a promise.
Fuck. What can
What
be
can be
held?
broken but never held?
A promise.
Bitch, I can hold a promise.
No,
Yeah.
bitch. That's not what the paper says.
Not held. Held.
No,
Anyway,
mama. No, mama. I would like to thank the icon, Precious, Old Navy.
I have a question for y'all
Yeah.
to close out.
Is it a trick question?
No.
Is it cut?
It's like a real life question.
Yeah.
What do you think life would be without fear or
Boring.
failure?
Without fear and failure, boring.
Why do you say boring?
I don't think that we'd be able to appreciate success the way that we do without not just. I don't think we should surrender to fear, but we should be aware of the things that challenge us and be aware and I guess fearful of failing because it is a very it's a very real thing that could happen with anything that you do. If you don't think that you can fail, you won't be able to pat yourself on the back or appreciate success or doing well or not failing. With the option of failure, it should push you and drive you to strive for excellence.
I feel as if it just pushes people to put more intention into what they do. Because if there is a chance that it can fail and blow up, like if there's nothing at stake and you can only win, well, bitch, we would all be winning.
There's no risk.
Then what happens?
Yeah.
There'd be no way that, yeah.
Like even in Ballroom, sometimes I'm scared to lose. Like I'm not a sore loser. I can lose, not above losing, but without that fear of not doing well, and that's to my own standard.
Remember that one time I sent you packing
No,
for Drag's Realness?
no, bitch.
3 years ago, girl.
No, bitch. When was that? I remember you beat me in Runway.
I did beat you in
You beat
Runway.
me in Runway, bitch.
But anyway.
Oh my God, you got your question from this fucking app called Scary Mommy.
Is that where it's from?
Yeah.
Scary mommy.
No, it's parade.com.
Well, I have one for y'all now.
Okay.
Ha ha.
Here we go.
All right, you ready? And wait, before I say this, no shade. I had fun on this podcast. It was
Yeah,
very,
it
like,
was so good to have
I told you we spoke about a lot of stuff before, but I told you like I know how to like. It's information. I have so much information in me that I feel like I can share so much and like even give you it's like a
sliver.
A little sample.
Yeah.
We got to have you back.
Yeah.
And really dive deep.
I can't wait for you guys. I want you guys to start recording because the facial reaction.
I know it makes a whole.
We tried.
So, the thing is, it's a lot of work.
You're starting. Wait.
Yeah.
This is a lot for starter.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah. We were like, if we're gonna do it, might as well have the sound be crisp and clear. Even if we can't have the video
this.
can wait.
It's so cute. And
So
like
fab.
hearing it back, it's
Like I want to listen to it just because it's so clear. It feels like I'm in the room and having that conversation all
You
over
can close
again.
your eyes and really like
Exactly.
Okay, y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right, this is the iconic Precious overall godmother, Old Navy, and I'm signing out with what is it called again? Girlfriend, you gotta do better than that. Yeah,
you have to look to the side a little bit.
somebody fart.
Yeah.
And I love y'all. Thank y'all.
Love you
All right,
too.
so you ready? Mm-hmm. This one's This one's for Tamar because this one's a 5.
Damn.
All right. A little girl kicks a soccer ball. It goes 10 feet and comes back to her. How is this possible?
She kicks a ball. It goes 10 feet and comes back to her. Like the ball comes back to her.
Yep.
See, initially I'm like, oh, she kicked it up a hill. But I'm like, no, it can't be that easy. She kicked a ball and it came back.
It could be many things.
Someone kicked it back.
She kicked it towards a wall.
She kicked it
up a
against
hill.
wall.
See, that's his 9.5 kicking in.
The wall is my first answer, but the hill is actually quite smart.
Yeah, bitch, if you kick it up a hill,
Yeah, it'll come back. Yeah.
Bitch, eat it.
You ready?
Wait, no. She could be kicking it to somebody that kicked it back. I think it's too open for one answer because all of those actually are right. Because I'm so fucking smart. Okay, no, I'm ready. Give it to me.
You ready?
Yeah.
It's called gravity. She kicked it up 10 feet up and it comes back.
I mean, the wall.
And that was a 5.
the hill. The hill is also gravity. No
The
shade.
hill is gravity.
Yours is so simple and it's a 9. And I feel like you're not going to get it.
Give me a chance before you answer it, though.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah.
What's
What's big, black, and expensive?
cock? What's always coming but never arrives?
What's always coming but never arrives?
I know.
Oh my God! No, you don't.
Wait.
I think I know.
What's always coming but never arrives? Me.
Yeah, I know you do. The future.
Oh my God! He got it wrong.
What is it?
Yeah.
Bitch, the future works though. It's always
tomorrow.
coming. Well, tomorrow's
That's
in the
the future.
future.
Oh my God! See, you're such a 9.5 that doesn't even
Okay.
It could have been after tomorrow and after tomorrow.
My name's Precious. I'm signing off.
Okay, fuck this game. Fuck this. Good night, guys.
Not.
Who's there?
Wad.
What? Who?
What
see
you
you?
doing at the World AIDS table?
We're gonna do this again, bitch.
No, bitches. The World AIDS Ball is coming up December 2nd at History Toronto. $20,000 in cash prizes. It's going to be the function of the year, the Canadian function of the year. Last year we got nominated for Ball of the Year, didn't win.
Ow.
But we're coming back with a vengeance, so everything is on point. You want to be there. Grand prize for the night, presented by Absolute, is $7,500. Team performance, teams of 3, followed by mini grand prize sex, runway, and face, all coming in at $2,500.
It's coming up December 2nd. You don't want to miss it. So bring out your Sunday's best and let's have a good time. Let's have a ball.
See you there.